Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Mass Effect Legendary Edition launches tonight. I'm really excited. Expect playthrough videos of the game. I may ease back on the multiplayer videos during the launch of the game, but I'll probably never stop playing the multiplayer on 3. Speaking of multiplayer, I'm covering a bit of news here. Is multiplayer coming back, and why was it axed out of Legendary Edition to begin with? There's some comments by Mac Walters, the project director for Mass Effect. There's also a bit of news about the cast of Mass Effect, so stay tuned till the end. Before getting into the video, guys, please like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps the channel. I have a giveaway running right now. Link is in the description below. The channel is still small, so your odds of winning are very high. So when asked if there was any possibility of Mass Effect 3 multiplayer mode coming back in some form, Walters responded, "I would never say no to that. We want to see what kind of reception the Legendary Edition gets and what the demand for the multiplayer is. And then we'll ask ourselves if we have the resources and time to bring it up to the quality level we and fans want." So there you have it, guys. There isn't a hard no. There's a possibility that we could be getting multiplayer in Legendary Edition as some sort of bolt-on down the road if there's enough demand for it. So, after I read these comments, I decided to take a look at the Game Informer article where Mac Walters explained why they didn't include multiplayer to begin with. I think it has some interesting... It adds an interesting framework to his comments here. So taking a look at the Game Informer article, Bioware explains why it didn't bring back Mass Effect 3 multiplayer in Legendary Edition. So kind of one of the first things they say, they being Bioware, they compared restoring Mass Effect to restoring a Porsche. You want to restore the car in its original condition. You don't want to add any bells and whistles to it. This comparison seems a bit off to me because when you're talking about restoring a car, if it has some sort of special feature or something unique about it, and you want to bring it back exactly as it was, then you would keep whatever that unique item is. Well, the multiplayer was in the original trilogy, so it's not a bell or a whistle. That's why the comparison seems odd to me. It makes more sense if you believe that the team never wanted multiplayer in the first place, which isn't a stretch since the first 2 games didn't have multiplayer, and there was speculation, I don't know if it was confirmed or not, that EA wanted Bioware to include multiplayer to increase the longevity of the game and include in-game transactions. It goes on to say, "I feel strongly that we've chosen the things that are what the majority of our fans were most passionate about." Debatable. On the topic of multiplayer, it was just really hard. Getting all of the online systems working and functionality would have been another large chunk to do. But at the same time, there are a lot of other logistics involved. The economy is built completely differently. Then questions came up like, do we support it at post-launch? What about the people still playing multiplayer today? How do we handle cross-play? So kind of breaking down some of the things in this paragraph. I think could be interpreted a couple of ways. It could be that hosting the service for Legendary Edition multiplayer and making sure the multiplayer ran smoothly would be too much of a resource drain, and that's what the economy is built different statement is referring to. You could also put on your tinfoil hat a bit and say, well, it seems the team has been given considerable freedom in the direction of Legendary Edition. Did they just say, let's axe multiplayer and let it be the single-player experience we've always wanted it to be? You can see there's kind of 2 narratives which are appearing. The financial constraint version where they didn't have the time and resources to do multiplayer, or the creative freedom version where they weren't obligated to add a multiplayer, so they didn't. As for the crossplay comment, I don't really see how that's a strong reason for not including multiplayer. I feel like anybody who still plays the multiplayer on older consoles is probably a fan of the series and has been for some time. They're probably older now and financially capable of buying Legendary Edition, and I think they'd be more than happy if they were able to play presumably their favorite multiplayer game with a fresh coat of paint. Not only that, they would see a huge influx of new players. So that's the multiplayer situation and why it wasn't originally included and why it may come back. I personally don't think that the analogy about how Mass Effect is like restoring a classic car or the problem of crossplay are strong arguments to keep multiplayer out of Legendary Edition. There may have been some financial issues where they had to release the game in May. I hope this is the case because this means that multiplayer could be added in the future as a bolt-on. If, however, it turns out they purposefully left out multiplayer, then I would doubt that we would ever get it. So let's go with the glass half full approach and hope it's coming. Guys, please like and comment this video. Like and comment on all Mass Effect multiplayer videos. You heard it from the project director himself. If there's enough interest in multiplayer, they will add it. Let's assume the best and hope that if there's enough demand generated, they'll do something. Last thing before I go, guys, there's a live stream that Jennifer Hale, FemShep, tweeted out. There's a live cast reunion this Saturday Pacific time. Check that out. Thanks, guys.